These Turkish wings are the very best. If you've ever been to a Turkish kebab shop, you know what I'm saying. One skewer is never enough of their savoury, lip-smacking flavour. Turks treat them right, which makes sense. Wings are the prized part of the chicken in Turkey after all. And since restaurants have mastered cooking them, I'm going to show you how to recreate these crazy good wings at home. If you're not drooling yet, we'll serve it with a crazy delicious bulgur pilav that will instantly become your new favourite carb. To get started, you'll make the flavour-packed wet rub that gives these wings their signature savoury flavour. To a mixing bowl, add 50 grams of yogurt and then 50 grams of red pepper paste. This special Turkish ingredient is basically paprika paste, meaning it's packed with tons of savoury flavour. If you've ever wondered why Turkish grills taste so addictive, this is why. It's worth seeking out, but to replace it, use 50 grams of tomato paste and 2 teaspoons of hot paprika. For spices, add 4.5 teaspoons of sumac, 2 teaspoons of pul biber or Aleppo pepper flakes, and 2 teaspoons of salt. Follow that up with 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper and then 1.5 teaspoons of Turkish or Greek oregano. Now, while this isn't traditional, I'm pretty sure every Turkish kebab shop uses MSG to give their kebabs that lip-smacking flavour. I recommend adding half a teaspoon, though it's totally optional. Follow that up with 3 minced cloves of garlic and 20 ml of olive oil, and now it's time to combine. Grab a whisk and thoroughly mix it until the most irresistible smelling paste comes together. It might not look it, but this paste can make anything taste incredible. Let's put it into practice with some chicken wings, 1.5 kilograms to be exact, of skin on drums and flats. Toss them in a bowl and add all of the rub. Then get in there with your hands and massage it in. Coat all the wings in a good slathering of that flavour-packed mix. Then once you're done, you can cook them right away. They'll turn out super flavourful, but if you let them sit for a few hours or overnight, you'll really maximise the flavour. You can use that marinating time to put together the most tasty bulgur pilav. This side is so easy to make and such a joy, making it perfect for any barbecue. Place a stainless steel pot on medium-high heat and add 20 ml of vegetable oil. Add 1 medium onion chopped to a small dice, then saute for about 5 to 6 minutes until it's just started to soften. Now add 1 red kapya pepper sliced into thin strips and 1 mild green chilli sliced into thin circles. If you can't get kapya, just replace it with half a red bell pepper. Follow them up with 1 minced clove of garlic, then 10 grams of red pepper paste and 10 grams of tomato paste. Again, you can swap that with tomato paste and a little paprika if you need. Give that a mix and then saute for about 4 minutes until the pepper and chili soften and the paste starts sticking to the pot. Now you can season with 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of dried mint, 3/4 teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of pul biber or Aleppo pepper flakes, and then to deglaze, 120 grams of crushed or grated tomatoes. Give that all a good mix and it'll create the most fragrant base for the pilav. Now comes the bulgur, and this is what you want to buy. Look for packets that say pilavlik bulgur or extra coarse bulgur. The grains should be about the same size of sushi or medium grain rice. Don't wash it at all, instead add 270 grams or 1.5 cups right to the pot. Follow that up with 20 grams of butter and then 500 ml of hot water. That's the perfect amount to make the grains fluffy, but if you prefer them extra soft and a little sticky, add another 100 ml of boiling water. Mix this together until the butter melts and then bring the pot to a simmer. When you can see the bubbles, set the heat to medium and cover the pot with a tight-fitting lid. Then just leave it to simmer for 15 minutes. Once the time's up, give it a quick look over. The grains are going to be massive, easily 4 times their size, and all that delicious liquid should have been absorbed. The bulgur needs 1 more short steam with the heat turned off. Place a paper towel on top of the pot, then cover it with a lid and leave it for 10 minutes. After that, all that's left is to fluff up the bulgur with a fork, and you're ready to dig into one of the greatest barbecue sides. I think it's a 10 out of 10 side, and I could eat it 7 days a week. And now for the other 10 out of 10 you've been waiting for. It's time to load up the wings on some skewers. Grab your favourite flat or square skewers and slide 7 to 8 wings on each one. Thread the skewers as close to the bone as possible, especially on the flats, so that you can keep them, well, flat. Now obviously you can cook these in the oven or an air fryer, but we only deal in the best, and that needs a charcoal grill. Fill it with loads of hot coals, then wait for the flames to disappear and for the coal to ash over. When they're white but still quite hot, you can add the skewers. They take about 8 to 10 minutes to cook through, and while they're cooking, you need to rotate often and manage the heat. Use a spray bottle filled with water to put out any small fires, and try to avoid singeing your wings like I did. Then when you feel they're almost cooked, grab a knife and slice into the wings on both sides. That will release any trapped liquid, and then cook for a further 30 seconds on each side. After that, they should be perfectly cooked. I know mine look a little less than perfect, but I left this footage in to prove a point. Regardless of how much I singed the rub, these taste absolutely incredible. As long as you're not burning the crap out of them, you're in for a real treat. But here's what they look like when I pay proper attention. That deep red, almost glazed appearance is hiding tons of savoury flavour and the intensely crispy skin that these are famous for. You won't be able to resist. Plate them up with the bulgur, a little yogurt dip and a simple salad. That grilled meal is one that you will constantly dream about. And this is my special tip for those of you who watch to the end. Grab a wing like that, find the end that's a bit bald, no meat on it, unlike this one, and then push in. And then you release it from the bone, and then that has just made me a very, very happy boy.